Some nightmares end when you wake up. Others, they start when you realize you were never dreaming. What I'm about to tell you, it still keeps me up at night. Even after moving away, even after all this time, I still feel like I'm being watched. Because for years I was, and I never even knew it. It started when I moved into my first apartment. It wasn't anything fancy, just a small one-bedroom place in an old building downtown. The kind of place that felt lived in. The paint was peeling in the corners, the floorboards creaked when you stepped on them, and the plumbing groaned in the middle of the night. But rent was cheap, and I was desperate. At first, nothing seemed wrong, but then little things started happening. I would come home and find cabinets open when I knew I had closed them. Lights flickered, even after the landlord insisted the wiring was fine. My phone charger would be unplugged, my fridge door slightly ajar, like someone had just been there. I told myself I was being paranoid until one night, I heard it. A rustling inside the walls. At first I thought it was mice. The building was old, it made sense. But then, the noises changed. I would wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of breathing. Faint, slow. Too steady to be an animal, it came from behind the walls. And worse, sometimes, it moved. At night, I would lay there, holding my breath, listening. A faint scratching near my closet, a soft thud near the kitchen, and once, God help me, a whisper right behind my bedroom wall. It convinced myself it was the pipes or the wind, or maybe I was just losing my mind. Until the night I saw it. It was around 2 a.m. I had woken up thirsty and dragged myself to the kitchen for a glass of water. The apartment was dead silent. That's when I noticed it. My pantry door was open. Just a crack. Something inside me froze. I knew I had closed it before going to bed. I stepped closer, my heartbeat hammering in my ears. I reached out, pushed it open, and inside, I saw a hole in the back of the pantry wall, just big enough for someone to crawl through. The edges were worn down like someone had been squeezing in and out for years. Beyond it, darkness. A hollow space, an entire hidden crawl space behind my apartment walls. I felt like I was going to throw up. Then I slammed the pantry shut and bolted for my phone. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely dial 911. 911, what's your emergency? I tried to keep my voice steady. I think someone is living inside my walls. Silence. Then, sir, are you alone in the apartment right now? A chill ran down my spine. She said it like she already knew. I heard something move behind me, a slow, dragging scrape inside the walls. I ran outside and didn't look back. The police arrived 20 minutes later. They went inside, looked around, checked the pantry, and when they pulled the panel off the wall, they found it. A makeshift living space inside the walls. Old blankets, rotten food wrappers, empty water bottles. And worst of all, a notebook. Inside there were pages and pages of notes about me, what time I left for work, what time I came home, what I did inside my own apartment. There were even sketches, drawings of me sleeping. The police never found him. Wherever he was gone. But the worst part? When they checked the building's old blueprints, that crawl space, it shouldn't have existed. Ever had the feeling you were being watched? You might not be wrong.